If your tasks live in Trello, but your schedule lives in your head, you're basically running your week on guesswork. I used to have dozens of cards in Trello, a packed calendar, and I still felt like I was always behind because I was deciding what to work on every single day. Once I started planning my entire week inside of Trello, that completely changed. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the exact weekly planning system I use in Trello. And this isn't adding more tasks or building a complicated setup. So let's start off with step one in the system, which is capture tasks. We're going to do this in Trello's new inbox feature, which is easily one of the best features they ever added. The inbox feature works on both desktop and mobile, so if you are on the go, use the mobile feature. You can always sort things out once you get back to your desktop. Now, as you go through your day, you have a ton of things coming at you like tasks, projects, appointments, to-dos, places to be, due dates, and really anything else you can think of. All of these things that you come across need to be processed into your productivity system, and the best way to do that is with the Trello inbox feature. To access the Trello inbox on the desktop, open any Trello board. If you go to the bottom bar, you can see a few different options. Click on the inbox button and then a sidebar will pop up. On the left is the inbox menu. Right now it's blank, but this is where you're going to be doing your brain dump with all the things in your head. Literally anything that is on your mind as far as to-dos, tasks, projects, things you want to do, due dates, and anything else goes here in a card. At the top of the menu, you can see the add a card button. Press that and then enter in everything from your brain dump. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward by adding a few different tasks. Again, this can be anything. Just try to clear as much space out of your head as possible. For the mobile version of Trello, open your Trello app and you can see the inbox in two different places. One right in the middle for quick capture that adds cards quickly into your inbox. And then also at the bottom of the screen, you can click on the inbox button to show all of the current cards in your Trello inbox. At the bottom, you can type right here to add more cards and use the paperclip icon to add attachments. This is the perfect solution for capturing ideas on the go because, let's be honest, a lot of the time ideas and tasks happen when we're not at our desk. Okay, now that we have everything out of your head and into the Trello inbox, we can move on to step two of the system. Step two in this system is prioritize with lists and labels in Trello. And this is where we are going to take everything from our inbox and quickly sort it out so things can become actionable. So let's go back into our blank Trello board and build out the lists and labels. For this board, we are going to be making a productivity system. We're going to click right here to add a list. You can think of lists as different buckets, and the cards you create in the inbox are going to be sorted into those buckets. So let's add a few lists. The first list we will add is called ideas. You can also call this inbox. Then we will add a to-do list. The next we are going to add a doing list. And after that, we are going to add a done list. And one final list that we will add at the end is the maybe someday list. And this list is the one that everyone tends to overlook. So now you can see all of your lists. The items in your Trello inbox that are relevant to this board will go into the ideas list. So for example, you might have a Trello board for your business and another Trello board for your personal life. All the cards that have to do with your business will be put into the ideas list that's located on your business board. And all of the cards that have to do with your personal life will go into the ideas list on your personal board. For today's example, everything will be on the same board, so we can just dump all of our cards into the ideas list. This might seem like an extra step, but as you build more boards and have more projects, you have to have a way to unload your inbox quickly to keep it clean. Once all of the cards are in the ideas list, we can click on the inbox button at the bottom to close out the inbox view. Now, once everything is on the ideas list, we now have to prioritize what we want to do. So in order for the tasks to move to the to-do list, we have to make sure that they have a due date. To do this, click into a card and then click on the dates button at the top bar and then select the date that you want to have this task or project done by. Now, you don't have to pick a specific time yet. We will get into that later in the process. I'm going to go fast forward and add a few dates into some cards. Once those dates are added, I'm going to move them right into the to-do list. Now I can see exactly what I'm currently working on at the moment. One quick tip is that you can load this up for the week. It's a good way to not overpack your week all at once. Now that I've committed to exactly what I want to do, let's decide what I'm going to work on today. And this is going to be the doing list. Anything that I want to do today, I will put right into the doing list. Now, once I complete a task, I can hover over the card, and then when the circle appears, I can mark it as complete. Once that is done, I'll drag it right into the done list. The done list is also a great way to review what you've accomplished at the end of the week or at the end of the month. Now, the last list we have is the maybe someday list, and this is where we are going to put any good ideas that are not urgent at the moment. Someday maybe list acts kind of like a parking lot for future projects, ideas, or interests that you're not currently acting on due to a lack of time, resources, or immediate commitment. It clears mental clutter by storing items to be reviewed later. The last quick tip in this step is color coding your tasks with labels. This is going to allow you to visually sort your cards as the board begins to grow over time, and organization is key. Now, I have an entire video on labels and labeling systems. I'll link in the description below, but today we're just going to go over label basics. To add a label, hover over any card and right-click the mouse or the hotkey if you press L on your keyboard. I'll right click and then a menu will pop up. Select Edit Labels. Now the Labels menu will pop up. First, we are going to create a new label by clicking on the button Create New Label. From here, we can customize the title and the color. So let's go ahead and create a traffic light system for priority. So green is low importance, yellow would be medium importance, and red is high importance. So let's click on green and then type low. Then click on the create button. From there, we are going to repeat the steps by clicking on create new label. We are going to select the orange color and type in medium and then click on the create button. And finally, we can repeat this one more time with high priority. Click on create new label. We are going to select red and then type in high and click the create button. Now all of our priority labels have been created, so let's head back into the board and start applying them. Let's use the hotkey for this, so hover over any card that you want to apply the label to and hit L on your keyboard. From there, select the label that you want to apply. Now that you know how to apply labels, I'm going to fast forward and add a few to this board. Now all of the labels have been applied. You can see all of your tasks and the priority associated with them. One last tip is that you can click on the little label bars for your preferred viewing format. By clicking on them, it will show or hide the label title. Now that we have all of our lists built and task prioritized, it's time for our tasks to go into our calendar with the Trello Planner feature, which makes this whole entire process seamless. Going back into the Trello board, we are going to connect your calendar to Trello using Trello's Planner feature. This feature is an absolute game changer, and you'll see why when it's connected. Go to the bar at the bottom of the screen, and in the bar, click on the Planner button. The hot button for this is G+P. Once you click on that, the side menu will appear. Now you have the options to connect to your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar, but for today's example, I'm going to connect my Google Calendar. So let's click on the calendar that you want to log into and then just follow the prompts. Once your calendar is connected, you will see it right here on the left with all of your events displayed. The button at the top allows you to toggle between days back and forth, and you can always hit this today button to snap the calendar back to the current day. On today's calendar, I have some time between 12 noon and 4 p.m. to get some of my tasks done. I'm going to drag the tasks from my Trello to-do list right into my calendar. Now, it will automatically set a task at 30 minutes, but you can click on the edge of the task and drag to expand it. Now let's switch over to Google Calendar to see if everything's synced. As you can see, all of the tasks I added in Trello Planner have shown up right here in my Google Calendar. Now, if I move something in Google Calendar, it will also show up in Trello. So let's change the time of one of these events, and then we'll see if it will change in Trello Planner. So I move this item, and then switching back over to Trello, you can see the event has moved. You can also move tasks around within Trello Planner, and that way you're not bouncing back and forth between apps. You can also mark tasks as complete within the Planner view and will automatically mark as complete in your main Trello board. Now take some time to drag tasks into your planner. So now everything is planned within Trello Planner and your calendar, and they are both perfectly synced together. Now it's time for the last step. If you're finding value in this video and want a simple organization system to finally hit your business goals, grab my free Trello workshop. The link's in the description. Now let's dive right back in. And with that out of the way, let's get into step 4. Once everything is planned and you start getting things done, you're going to notice that in some cases, things fall behind, some tasks don't get done, things need to be pushed to a later date, and your Trello board gets clogged. Once this happens, productivity will drop, and that's why in step 4, we are going to add some automations to keep your board clean and your productivity flowing. That way, no matter how busy life gets, you'll always have a clear path within your productivity system. So let's go back in your Trello board and add some quick and easy automations that will guarantee that the board stays clean. The first automation that we are going to add is cleaning up your daily to-do list. Basically, each day as you go about marking your tasks complete in the doing list, you're going to drag them into the done list. In the case you didn't finish the task or you didn't even get to the task, you need to be able to put it back into the to-do list. This is going to keep your daily doing list clean and ready for your next day's planning. To add your first automation, click on the automations button on the right of the screen. It's going to be the little lightning bolt icon. Once you click on that, a menu will appear. In Trello, automations are called rules, and we are going to click on that. Now that we are in the automations menu, look on the left column and click on the scheduled button. From there, click on the create automation button. Now, with any automation, you need a trigger and an action. Basically, once the trigger happens, the actions happen automatically. So for this case, the trigger is going to be the time. So let's say at 5 p.m. each day, Trello will clear your doing list and put everything back into the to-do list. And this allows you to plan each day with a clean list. To add the trigger, click on Add the trigger button. Under the select a schedule section, we are going to click on the everyday option and then click on the clock icon and a text box will appear. Again, we want to set ours to 5 p.m., but you can really set it to any time that you want. Once everything is set the way you want, you can click on the plus button and now you can see the trigger has been added. Under the select and action options, click on move cards. We are going to use this first option displayed called Move All Cards in List. Now we have to select the list. So move all the cards in list, doing to list, to do. Once everything is set the way you want it, click on the plus icon. So what we just did here is that every day at 5 p.m., the trigger, Trello is going to automatically move all the cards from the doing list to the to-do list, which is the action. Always double check the automation first, and then we can hit the save button on the top right corner. Now Trello takes you into the automations menu where you can see the automation you just created, as well as any other automations that you will make in the future. Now for the sake of this video example, I am not going to wait until 5 p.m., so I'm going to click on the run now button, which is the one with the little rocket icon. That's going to run the automation we just created without having to wait. Again, we are just testing out the automation to make sure we did it right. After testing, it's just set it and forget it. So let's click on Run Automation. You will see a notification at the bottom saying that Trello is running the automation and then a confirmation at the bottom that the automation completed running. Once that is done, we can go back to our Trello board and see our doing list is empty and all of the cards that were previously in this list have been moved back into the to-do list. That way, when we decide to plan our next day, this list is clear. Now for our last automation, this is going to really help you keep the rest of your board clean. As you get more ideas and tasks, your ideas column or inbox, so to speak, will fill up rapidly. If you don't do the task or at least schedule it within 30 days of you putting it onto your board, chances are you're either going to do it at a later time or never get to it. But we also don't want it hanging around in our ideas list, clogging up our system. Our second automation is going to fix that by automatically moving any card that has been sitting in the ideas list for over 30 days into the maybe someday list. To set this up, go to the automations button and then click on rules. Once the automations menu pops up, click on scheduled on the left and then go back to the top button where it says create automation. Click on that. Then click on add trigger. Now we are going to use the first option here at the top that says every day. Then click on the clock icon and let's change this to later at night, so 11 p.m. Once that is set, then click on the plus icon. For the action, we are going to move the cards from the ideas list to the maybe someday list, but the card has to be sitting there for 30 days. So click on the move card button and then go down to the option that says move all the cards more than 30 days in list. We're going to click on the list name and then select the ideas list and have them move to the list called maybe someday. Once everything is set, click on the plus button, do a quick review. So every day at 11 p.m., all cards more than 30 days old in the ideas list are moved to the maybe someday list. Everything looks good, so let's click on the save button on the top right corner. Now you can see that our new automation has been added, and let's test it. Again, I'm not going to wait till 11 p.m. for this automation to run, so I will click on run now. Trello says the automation run has been completed. Then I'll go back into my main board and you can see some of the items that were previously on my ideas list have been moved over to my maybe someday list. Once a month, I would recommend going into your maybe someday list and either deleting what is no longer relevant, or if something is relevant, move it into the to-do list and add a due date. Now, if you like those tips, I have a few great free resources for you, including my free Trello game plan workshops that will show you how to implement Trello into your business. And if you're just getting started with Trello and want to level up your productivity, this workshop is a must-have, and it's free. Once you get those Trello basics plugged into your business, you can get more done in less time with less stress. And until next time, stay productive.